This time on KEI Fabrication.
Obviously you can see I've got several fluorescent fixtures that have failed, but hide all the women and children. Hide all the women and children. Hide all the women and children. All the grinding's done. Time to clean the garage. Well folks, I just came back from the scrapyard. So I ran up to the scrapyard. Well, we're up here at the junkyard. Well, we're back in the junkyard. Well folks, I've got the opportunity to upgrade the lighting in my shop. These are really inexpensive China grade 4-foot double bulb LED shop lights, and they went on sale for $12 a fixture, and you can daisy chain them together and everything. I have an issue with my lighting. You can see that these are old 8-foot fluorescents. Now there is 4 lights that have been up in the garage for a year exactly like these. So my confidence is built up. They shed an amazing amount of light. You can see that this is turned on, but the ballast is shot. The humming you hear in the background is the ballast going on the rest of them. And over here I have another one that the ballast is cooked. I'm just tired of these 8-foot fluorescents. The bulbs are expensive, the ballasts are expensive, and I bit the bullet and I bought 10 to replace the lights. When I first put these lights in, I kind of tried to predict where they should go. It was before I had the lift. Unfortunately, when a car is up on the lift, these were in a good spot before I had the lift when the car was down low. But when I put the lift in, the cross beam blocks a lot of the lighting when you're working on the driver's side of the vehicle. And when you raise it up, not a whole lot going on. So I'm going to move this row of lighting over, probably right on top of the wooden battens that are holding the sheetrock up on this side, and I'm going to move this row a little further over towards the fan, and that'll allow me to move these. And I have, because of the opening there to get up in the attic, it's really dark at the back of the shop when a vehicle is up on the lift, so I'm going to put 2 more back there. And it's kind of dark over here in the work area, so I have a couple of extras that I think I can put up that will lighten it up over here where you need all the light, where your where your equipment is. So I've been struggling with that for years, and I'm finally going to do that. So I have 4 of these fluorescent lights spaced 2 feet apart on this bay, and that replaced 24 feet of lighting on this side. So 16 feet of lighting that I'm going to put up actually does a better job than 24 feet of these fluorescent tubes. So I'm actually pretty excited. The shop should be much brighter, and it's going to be a while before I put them up. I just brought them inside because they were all inside my vehicle, so now I have to set the time aside to put these up and make this shop a little easier to work in, a little more pleasant to work in. Alright folks, since how it's a miserable rainy day out and I'm going as far as I can on the Mazda, I'm going to, you can see I've got issues with my 8-foot fluorescent lights. You saw that I purchased 10 4-foot LED lights, so I'm going to start hanging those lights. The issue I have right now is the light curtain that comes down from a fluorescent tube is doesn't come out very wide. So the issue I'm having is with the fluorescent tubes, this beam that the hydraulic cylinder is located that works the lift kind of covers up any light that comes down right where you need to be doing brake jobs and things. Not so much when the vehicle is all the way up, but when the vehicle is at the work height to do brakes and things, it's really dark in that area. Also, it's really dark over here in this area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually try mounting the lights to this batten strip here that's holding the sheetrock up. Moving it over, it's going to be about 18 inches, and we'll go from there. So let's see how that goes. Obviously you can see I've got several fluorescent fixtures that have failed, but what I'm going to try to do is take a snapshot here of before and after. We'll see how this area lightens up as a result of putting the fluorescent fixtures in. Obviously it's going to be much brighter because I'll have lights where these are burned out, but it's been dismal in this shop for years. I've been nursing these fluorescent lights along for a long time. I've replaced those fluorescent fixtures way over there in that bay with the 4-foot fluorescents, and I'm super happy with them. So I decided when they went on sale to replace all of my fluorescent tubes. I get rid of the cold start problem when you turn the heat off and come in the next day and it's freezing in here. These fluorescent ones complain about starting. So anyway, this is what it looks like right now in terms of shadowing and everything. So we will try and see what that does as a result of adding the new LED fixtures. Alright folks, that's with 9 new lights in the shop. I really like it. Over here the equipment is lit up nicely. Should be able to see while I'm cutting on my bandsaw and working on the Bridgeport, the drill press. One thing that I like is if you see, the car is all the way up and it is actually spreading a curtain of light, so only about 2 feet in the center of the lift is not lighted. So that is pretty impressive in my eyes. So I got a lot of cleanup to do now that I got my lights hung. So anyway, that's it for today. Hey folks, just as a last minute follow-up on the lighting, one of the issues that I ran into even with the new lights and the new position of the lights, this cross beam is still creating some issues in terms of getting enough lighting where the front wheels would be or the rear wheels would be in terms of providing light. When the vehicle is up on the lift and at the work height, the curtain is blocked. The curtain of light is blocked by this beam, both in the area of the front wheels and the area of the back wheels. On that side of the lift, I've got a really good light curtain. There's not even a drop light required or anything to work on the passenger side portion of the vehicle. So as a solution, you can see when I first installed the lift, I installed lights, outlets at both locations on both posts, just so I knew I could run, sawzalls or any other power tools at both ends of the vehicle, or lighting or drills, anything. So this was already here. So the local hardware store had these single element LED 4-foot bulbs for $4 a piece. They come with the cord, plugs into 110. They have 3M sticky tape. You just do peel and stick. I took a little brake clean, cleaned the painted surfaces of the beam, and let's see if we can do a before and after here of the amount of light that you can actually see a tremendous amount of light come down in that area. So if you're looking for a place to brighten up under a workbench, you know, I have shelving over my workbench, and sometimes that prevents or creates shadowing, so you can't see what you're doing. But these lights here, you can see I put one in this area as well. Really intensifies the amount of light here. They should be out of the way. The reason why I put them front and rear, didn't put one in the middle, is when the vehicle door opens, for the driver's door, this beam is in the way sometimes, and I didn't want to put them on the outside of the beam because when you open the door it would smash them. And you know, mirrors and everything else that go up and down, they do get pretty close here, especially with trucks with tow-in mirrors on them, my own included. So they were a neat addition to what I got going on here. They have their own switches. So I was really happy with those for an additional $8 to add those. Just made working on the wheels when the vehicle is up to working height. You know, you want the tire at about 4 feet or whatever. This curtain of light is going right in the wheel well and eliminating a lot of issues with trying to put a drop light in there. I wear a headlamp 90% of the time now. I kind of got introduced to those being in Boy Scouts with my kids, doing a lot of hiking. And I have 4 or 5 of them. Most of them are Harbor Freight ones, just because they get banged up, smashed, crushed from sitting on the workbench or filled with brake clean and fogging them all up, or grinding dust and welding sparks and all that stuff. So keep 2 or 3 of them around, keep batteries in there. They work tremendously, especially when you're working directly underside vehicle. But not having to wear one of those is pretty cool, and just trying to make this aspect of it all come together for me. So that's it for the lighting. Let's see, total investment was less than $200 for all 14 lights that are hanging from the ceiling, and including these 2 here, and I actually have 1 spare left over. So I think you would spend at least that much money even from Home Depot on, I think the fixtures themselves were $30-some, and then the bulbs for the 8-foot fluorescents, and then the bulbs themselves were pretty expensive. I haven't taken these down yet because they were only they were like maybe 1 year old. So I'm actually leaving those up and saving them. Both my sons have recently purchased homes with garages, and I'm just kind of saving them. You know, for no money, they can kind of light up their shop, because I know both of those garages are without lights. So until they get around to having some resources to wire up the garage and kind of finish the lighting aspects of their garage, they can certainly use these to get by. So anyway, that's it for the lighting project, and any other improvements we make on the shop. I've just got you know, a tornado storm kind of situation here with all the projects we've done recently between myself and my sons, working on my own personal vehicles. I just did 4-wheel brake job, front struts, lower control arms, and ball joints on my wife's vehicle, and you never know what comes through the shop at the spur of the moment. So anyway, got a lot of work to do, cleaning things up, getting things in position, getting rid of the clutter, the residual leftovers from the garage projects, and kind of getting it ready for a winter's worth of projects, getting ready for spring and summer. So we'll talk to you soon.
Next time on KEI Fabrication.
The Suburban has really showed its worth in the last 7 days.